In this episode, we will continue with the reptilian interview. If you missed the previous episode, I recommend you watch it on my YouTube channel. Alright, without further ado, let's begin this episode. After the catastrophe, a few species managed to survive, including fish, birds, reptiles, small mammals, and a particularly unique small dinosaur. This small dinosaur walked on two legs, stood at around 1.5 meters tall, and resembled humans in appearance, with large skull and brain capacity. It had opposable thumbs and eyes located at the center of its head. Furthermore, this small dinosaur possessed a completely different set of organs and digestive system, possibly influenced by radiation. Over the next 30 million years, this surviving dinosaur population underwent evolution. In terms of intelligence and life forms in various aspects, the time required for a species to evolve is much longer than you can imagine. Humans, on the other hand, are different. As mammals, you began evolving around 150 million years ago. But it was only in the recent 2 to 3 million years that you suddenly developed intelligence. Ask yourself, do you truly believe that this accelerated evolution happened naturally? If you do, then your species is even more ignorant than I imagined. The evolved dinosaurs developed rudimentary intelligence. They chose to live in caves for warmth instead of enduring the harsh surface conditions. They also learned to use stones and tree branches as their initial tools, and later discovered the use of fire for warmth. Over the next 20 million years, this population naturally split into 27 different species. However, 24 of these species became extinct, leaving only 3 surviving species. Approximately 10 million years ago, our evolution came to a halt. Compared to humans, we are an ancient species. 10 million years ago, humans were still primitive creatures, much like apes, jumping around in the forests. By that time, we had already acquired a certain level of technology, building cities within the Earth and colonizing other planets in the solar system. 10 million years ago, your ape-like ancestors also began to evolve as a result of climate changes. Some of them descended from the trees to the ground. However, for mammals, the process of evolution is incredibly slow, unless there are exceptional events. If nothing extraordinary had happened, we wouldn't be sitting here chatting today, as you would still be in caves wearing fur, trying to discover the secret of fire. However, an unexpected event occurred around 1.5 million years ago. A humanoid species arrived on Earth, and they were one of the humanoid species that first came to Earth over 60 million years ago. These humanoid extraterrestrials were tall in stature, with fair skin, and they created various human species on Earth, including giants. This time, their purpose for coming to Earth was not for the native minerals and copper, but to create new humans. They disregarded our existence and, through genetic engineering, accelerated the incredibly slow process of human evolution to unimaginable levels. Their intention was to use the created humans as controllable slaves in future wars. The fate of your species is not important to us, but we dislike them. They did as they pleased on our planet, and at the same time, they didn't like us either. The ultimate disappearance and extinction of your previous human civilization were a result of the war between us and them. You can find some descriptions of those wars in your book known as the Bible, which includes many ancient mythological stories. However, the true history is quite long and intricately complex. You mentioned the war that occurred between those two alien species 65 million years ago. But the evolution of your species into intelligence happened long after that war took place. Where do you get all this information from? That's a very good question. Our knowledge about that war comes entirely from an ancient artifact. It was discovered approximately 16,000 years ago by archaeologists of our species on what you now call the continent of North America. We found a disk with a diameter of 47 centimeters, made of a magnetic material. Inside the disk, there is a small crystal that contains a vast amount of encoded information within its molecular structure. After decoding the information, we discovered that the information disk was created by survivors of the Canis Major constellation humanoid species after the Great Cosmic War. It has been approximately 65 million years since then. Our scientists have decoded the information and data contained in the disk. It includes detailed descriptions of both species. But there is more information about the humanoid species and a lot of data about warfare and weapons. Additionally, there are descriptions of many animals on Earth, including significant information about our intelligent ancestors. As for our knowledge about our own evolution, it comes from studying our own skeletal remains, tracing history, and interpreting our own genetics. It was only 16,000 years ago that our species finally discovered the truth about our origins. You mentioned that an extraterrestrial race created humans. Where did they come from? What do they look like? What happened when they came to Earth? Are they the gods we speak of? They come from a star system known as the Pleiades in the constellation Taurus. They are a tall humanoid species with blonde hair and fair skin. Initially, they appeared wise and peaceful, and we had some friendly communication with them. However, they later revealed their true intentions and plans. They wanted to modify the hominid species on Earth to create a new breed, and we became an interference to their plan. In the beginning, they captured around 10,000 to 20,000 of your ape-like ancestors and then left for hundreds of years. When they returned to Earth, they brought back your Homo sapiens ancestors and then left again for thousands of years. During these thousands of years, your earliest ancestors coexisted with us on Earth without significant issues, except for their fear of our flying crafts and technology. Later, the extraterrestrial race enhanced the minds, brains, and physical structures of the first batch of Homo sapiens, and they learned to use tools and fire. Over the next 23,000 years, the extraterrestrial race made 7 return trips to Earth, each time accelerating the evolution of your ancestral species. You must understand that you, the current batch of humans, are not the first human civilization on this planet. The initial humans underwent multiple modifications and accelerated evolution. They already possessed advanced technology and had been living on this planet approximately 700,000 years ago. You, as a current human, have not fully grasped this fact, as you have only discovered the skulls of these ancestors and some cave paintings depicting advanced spacecraft. They coexisted with us, but they tried to avoid contact with us as much as possible because the extraterrestrial race that created them warned them of our misunderstood intentions, portraying us as extremely evil beings. Clearly, they were lying. Thousands of years later, the extraterrestrial race decided to destroy their first creation, and embarked on a new endeavor, creating and destroying civilizations one after another. The truth is that you, the current human population on Earth, are the 7th civilization. It's time for this episode to come to an end. We will continue with the reptilian interview next time. Stay tuned.